First thing I want to do is to acknowledge the Wadawurrung traditional owners of this land and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of the Greater Geelong community today and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I'm Heidi. I'm CEO of Emerge Australia, the organisation that is hosting this conference. I want to thank everyone for joining us today here in the room, watching through the live stream to Facebook or through Go Live, and also to welcome people watching the recordings of the presentations that at this point are still to come, the exciting, fabulous presentations that are yet to come. So there are a couple of housekeeping things that I just want to go through with everyone. So the first is for the people here in person. We know that there are a number of people joining us at the conference who live with ME/CFS and other health conditions. We want to let you know that we're more than happy for you to come and go as you need to. There's a room called the Bellarine Room, which is set aside for rest. So if you need to leave and have a lie down at any point, you're more than welcome to do so. If you head out of the doors, it's on the left-hand side, and anyone on the Emerge registration desk will be able to guide you. So there are a number of beds made up in the room, and it's a designated quiet space with low lighting. All of our guests can have access to the Bellarine Room at any point. So the toilets are just outside this room on the left, and we have Emerge Australia staff around at the registration desk and in the Flinders boardroom if you need anything. That's the little room on the right if you can't find us. If you really can't find anyone from Emerge Australia, then the main Novotel reception desk should be able to help. In the event of a fire, please take the stairs to the lobby and hotel staff will provide further direction. So the second housekeeping thing is for people joining us on the live stream. And I just want to outline that our goals for this conference were always led by our desire to get the scientists talking to the scientists about ME/CFS. And for that reason, these first 2 days are very much all about the science. And while we will be live streaming and captioning as much as we possibly can, we're really pleased that a few of the scientists have such promising results that they're actually in pre-publication. So for that reason, there are a few places in the programme where the live stream will be paused or might look different. We really thank you for bearing with us and bearing with the scientists when that needs to happen. The presentations that are affected today are Professor Paul Fisher, whose presentation will have some sections that are not viewable on the live stream. The presentation by Dr. Cara Thomas will not be streamed, and Dr. Alicia Joseph this afternoon will have the live stream paused while she presents her results. So the only other thing to say is that we're so very pleased that Emerge Australia are able to host this truly international research symposium. We also want to thank the Australian Department of Health for their support by providing the funding that has enabled us to host the conference. And I'm going to finish this introduction with 2 short videos. The first one is from the Federal Minister for Health, Mr. Greg Hunt.
Well, welcome everybody to today's Emerge ME/CFS International Research Symposium. We know, and you know, that myalgic encephalomyelitis and chronic fatigue syndrome are major issues that can have a profound impact on individual and community life. 240,000 Australians, at least, have some form of ME or CFS. And of those, a quarter can be housebound with the same impact on them as MS or any of the significant neurological conditions. So it can be a crippling and a catastrophic diagnosis for an individual. But it's often misunderstood, and the research is not as strong as in so many areas of our chronic conditions. So I want to thank and congratulate everybody for being part of today. I particularly want to acknowledge the ME/CFS community, those from my electorate, those from around the country who've visited me within my portfolio's responsibilities, have made the case about the importance, and I agree. It's real, it's significant, it's important. What we need, therefore, is to provide the opportunities for you as researchers, for you as professionals, to be able to deliver better results for patients. Therefore, today I want to invite you to apply as part of the Medical Research Future Fund under the clinical trials program to look where you believe there are treatments of different forms for patients. I think that this absolutely meets the definition of an unmet need. And secondly, to look through the Frontier Science program at opportunities for a grand national project on ME/CFS. I think this is an incredibly important area, and what we do here can have an impact at the local level for individuals and at the national level. And if Australian research leads the world, it can have an impact for patients right around the globe. So thank you for your work, for the individuals, for those that I've known, for those that you know and for whom you care, for our broader community that can be so profoundly affected by this, but also the capacity to know that your research and your discovery, whether it's through the NHMRC, where they have recently established an advisory panel at my request for the first time to deal with this and to ensure that it's given the prominence in NHMRC research analysis that it deserves, or through the Medical Research Future Fund going forwards. This is our hope and our moment and our opportunity to deal with ME and chronic fatigue syndrome on a national scale through our research opportunities in a way that has never been done before. So it's a moment of real hope and opportunity backed by real funding. I thank you and I honour you and I wish you well in your deliberations.
So just before I hand over to our chairs for this morning, I want to play a second very short video, which is to remind us of the reasons that we're here. And we're playing this video to represent the 60,000 Australians severely affected with ME/CFS and the countless people around the world who are not able to join us because they are too unwell with this complex chronic illness.
The issue of respite becomes a really big issue when people are in severe cases such as our daughter. I think too, possibly for people who are coping with it by themselves, navigating the world of Centrelink and NDIS seem also to be difficult areas as well. So there's a whole lot of areas that could be improved for not just for our daughter, but for all people in Australia who are suffering from ME/CFS. Probably though, the number one issue is let's get a diagnosis. I think that's really the bottom line for all of this.
So on that note, I would like to hand you over to Professors Sonia Marshall-Grodisnik and Professor Donald Staines, who are chairing the first session, Mitochondrial Function and Signalling.